welcome to the Windsor Scene, your musical footprint of Windsor's original music scene, past, present, and future. I am your host, Jamie Greer, and of course I am joined by the inevitable Randi Irving.
It is inevitable to have me in your life.
It is.
Once I sneak my way in there, there's no getting rid of me.
No, you're like a
I'm
bad rash.
like a bad rash or a cockroach, because then I'm indestructible.
You are.
All right, thanks for that, Jamie.
Yeah.
Also joining us is the man behind the board, Mr. Swiss Army Mike. Hey,
Yo,
Mike.
yo, yo. Hey, does that make me the immovable object if she's the
You are.
inevitable force? The immovable object meets the inevitable force. That was
And
my
that
worst
immovable
version of.
object is looking stunning today. He's got a bit of a glow because he had a show this past weekend with his band Life in Chaos.
Life in
And
Chaos.
how was it, buddy?
It was awesome. Great turnout. Thank you for everybody who showed up this past weekend. It was really great. There was some kids out because it was an all ages show at the Scare House.
Nice.
And I made treat bags for anybody who wanted to do some like pre-trick or treating, which was cool.
How is the Scare House as a venue? I haven't been to a show there yet, but there's been a couple now there now.
Okay, so yeah, he's been doing it for the past 3 or 4 years. Tyson, shout out Tyson. It's actually a great venue. It's very big. I will say the Born of Osiris show that we had was with 300 people. I don't think it was cool. Like it was just too much body heat, but
Yeah.
like for like maybe 200 people or less, I think it's a really, really awesome venue. Very,
Wow,
very
that's a
spacious.
fair size.
Has a lot of room. The stage is of nice, fair size. It's like about the same size as like say the backstage.
Cool.
Um,
That was a
lots of
great
space.
stage too.
Yeah, it's a nice taller stage, so you're like much more off the ground. It's cool. The sound
It's
was
nice.
amazing. Shout out Ben who did sound last this past weekend.
Nice.
And yeah, it sounded really killer. I'll send you guys some videos later.
Sweet deal. All right, so we've got three killer bands that we're gonna sit down and talk to. And speaking of bands that played this past weekend, we are talking to another one that's played this past weekend. Randy, why don't you tell us who we got lined up first?
All right, our first interview today is with Reckless Upstarts. As Jamie mentioned, they did play this past weekend as they get ready to kick off a little tour in Europe. Fun fact about this episode is we recorded it live at the Dominion House, not at this past weekend show, but at another show that also featured Mike's band, Life in Chaos, who you'll hear throughout this interview as they're doing their sound check because we're recording it live on location at the DH. So it's kind of a full circle. It all comes back around, and it's just all things punk and all things delicious.
Really great to see Reckless Upstarts touring the world and bringing the Rose City Boot Boys sound to to fans around the world. They're playing
And
Austria, Czech Republic, and Germany, I believe, this
and
time
they're so
around.
well received there too. Like I
Absolutely.
hear stories about these shows and they're just wild, and I just wish it was something that we could experience. Like I just
Uh,
want to go to Europe and they
Follow them
happen to be
around.
at tour at the same time. Like I wouldn't be upset about it.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see them in one of their European things because they love their punk rock over there.
Oh yeah. hmm So I think we should get into it.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're going to kick it off with a song first. It's off of 2023's album We Walk Alone. The song is called Sharp as a Knife, and it is here on the Windsor Scene, the podcast. All right, welcome. You're listening to the Windsor Scene, the podcast, and we are here. Well, you're not listening live, but we're recording live at the historic Dominion House Tavern here in Windsor's West End. Jamie and I are here sitting down with Reckless Upstarts. Hey, boys, welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Hello. Hey.
Okay, so we have, I know Matt, I know Curtis, I know Mickey.
Right.
Who are you?
I'm Alex.
Alex, you're new. You're fresh meat.
Fresh, brand spanking new.
All right, you're the new drummer. Welcome to the party.
Your hair seems awfully long to be in the band.
I know. I'm working. Don't worry. A couple of years, it'll be gone.
I had a whole bit for the end of this interview, and you ruined it.
It was right on the table. You know, I'm working from the inside out.
I thought maybe you were a roadie or something. I was like, why is he sitting in the
I
interview?
do look like I know. I do look like I can carry gear, and I can.
Nice backbone.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, how's the punk scene feeling in Windsor these days? Are we building something? Are we holding the line? What's going on with it?
Huh. Curtis. I don't know.
I mean, you guys only show up about once a year, I find, to play Windsor, so it's a hard question for you.
Trying to get in.
Sound check. I don't know, what's the punk scene like? I feel like the hardcore scene is thriving. I feel like the metal scene is thriving. I feel like the punk scene is somewhat stagnant.
Okay, so I wouldn't say stagnant. I like the Windsor scene as a whole amongst all the genres, because look at a show like tonight where we have us, like a street punk oi band, playing with a hardcore band from Detroit, playing with two hardcore bands from Windsor. So the metal, punk, and hardcore scene are all kind of interconnected, and everybody helps each other and lifts each other up and works together. And I've always appreciated that, because Windsor has always kind of been like that. We're not like a thriving metropolis where we could have just a skinhead show or just a hardcore show or just a metal show. Everybody works together, and that's always been the case.
It's a common theme I found with interviewing different bands is how we have this mix mash take away from these shows where there's all these different genres on the bill, and it's just such an eclectic scene. And I think that's proven to be a more successful route than just having one genre with four bands on the bill.
Yeah, you don't want four bands each sounding the same, right? And that's, people get bored, people leave. I get it.
Exactly.
Try playing a skinhead show where four bands are all the same. Everybody looks the same. It's stupid.
go back a little bit. I was just telling Jamie on the way here, one of my first memories of you guys, it goes back to, I want to say 2012, 2013. And you were just starting out, and I used to work at the FM Lounge with you, Curtis, and on Tuesday nights, you guys would have your band practice down in the coach.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, who gets to do that? Who gets to have band practice at the coach? Like, that's so badass.
Also, it's cool not having to pay for a jam space until we couldn't. But
Exactly.
Jay was very forgiving, and I'm forever in debt to Jay. He recorded our very first demo in the coach, which was pretty cool of him, but he brought his very expensive equipment that we didn't deserve. Like gold-plated microphones from what I remember. Whether or not they were, but that's how I remember them. Like opening a suitcase from like Pulp Fiction.
That's so classy.
Yeah.
It's so Jay.
And Jay just being like, yeah, you guys are really good. I made a face.
So I remember on those Tuesdays I used to work at the fish market, and I would close up early, and I'd go grab a pint from Pogo's and then just sit on the stairs and listen to you guys like the creepiest little girl on the planet.
Terrible.
Yeah, just terrible.
I'm sorry.
No, this is to go to how much I loved what I heard. Like, you guys just had a sound that I liked. I don't know. So going with that, I wanted to talk about your evolution of how going from this, like, listening to you guys from the basement of the coach to now you're touring Europe for the second time.
Fourth time.
Fourth time. That was a slap in my face. Congratulations. I honestly thought you guys only went once. That's impressive. So what's that like?
The hangover in Europe is a month long after.
No, it
the
doesn't
fact.
exist because the beer there is good. We'll get hungover.
Oh, I don't know. I'm
He's just sick of
hungover every
drinking.
day, man.
I don't know. I feel like I don't get hungover there because
You just don't stop drinking.
Yeah, we don't. The beer is just different. I don't know. It's something
But-
with the beer, the water. I don't know what it is.
It's weird to consider that Mike and I started just writing shitty Clash-driven songs on our couches 12 years ago to releasing a couple internationally received records and then going on tour in Europe. Like, I feel I'm not ignorant to the fact that not everybody gets to do that. And I think it's pretty cool getting to be able to do that.
Yeah, I know
It's
what
pretty
that
much
is.
just us and the Tea Party. That's it.
We're the same as the Tea Party.
We're neck and neck.
So you guys are featured on an all-new compilation. It's an all-Canadian Oi record.
Sold out online.
Sold out online. Okay, so I don't need to direct you guys on where to buy it.
Nope, yeah.
New Noise from the North is what it's called. What can you take away from that? What's your favorite track on it? Who sticks out other than you guys?
Our friends from Vancouver, who run Last Year's Youth Records, released it with Rebellion Records out of Germany, which Rebellion releases a mountain of records on their own accord. But the fact that we're involved on a record that's co-released with them in Germany is really cool. Last Year's Youth is run by Mike from No Heart, and No Heart's been around for 13, 14, 15 years, give or take.
Yeah.
A bit longer than us, I think. And they do a mountain of work for the West Coast. Again, No Heart, the first track on that record. They're an amazing band, but also First Attack, this is one of their first releases, and they're the last track on that record. And that's Greg Huff from Bishop's Green and Alternate Action. And he's a legend in and of his own right. He's involved in almost all of the biggest skinhead bands in Canada, and they tour Europe all the time.
But there's a lot of other really good bands on that record, newer bands. There's Pure Impact from Manitoba. There's The Last Straw. I think they're from Saskatoon. They're really good. Mean Streets from New Brunswick.
Ultra Razzia.
Ultra Razzia from Montreal. They've been around for a while. There's just a lot of really good new up and coming
Buzzers.
bands. The Buzzers from Vancouver are on that as well. Yeah,
So really coast to coast.
coast to coast.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a cool record, and I'm not surprised that it sold out online because I've only heard great feedback from everyone that's listened to it. So.
So let's go to music that they can access.
Yeah.
Your album, We Walk Alone, it dropped last year.
2 years. Yeah, a
2 year and a half?
23.
23. Time is flying, and
know.
my math is awful. So I love that album. I listen to it. It's a front to backer for me. I listen to it.
Pretty sure Randy has a Reckless tattoo.
I do have a Reckless tattoo. I do. So I was going to say some of my favorite songs that stick out, Stay Loyal is one of them. Another that I just hits home is Roots and Boots. That is just my favorite.
Yeah, really hitting
Favorite.
home with that skinhead subculture for you.
It really does, you know. There's a little bit of it in me somewhere.
Yeah.
They're just songs that I find very meaningful, and I.
Shout out to Mark Calcott on the organ.
Well, and that's where my question was coming to is you have all these different instruments that is in your core group that you guys feature on this album, and then you play these live shows and you're still able to capture that same energy. Like, how do you do that without Mark?
Comedy?
Without a professional musician.
Just look at this guy, Curtis.
Walking jokes. We played once with Mark for the record release.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah.
And I wish he could be there every show, but
We can't afford him.
he makes more money on his own. Actually, I told him about Winnipeg maybe happening. He's like, I could be interested in that. I've never been there.
Okay, so we got to get back to the music upstairs, guys. We can hear the bands are getting started, and I feel like it's time for us to get back to enjoying the night that we have ahead of us. But first, I want to do a quick rapid fire round. You guys have to answer as quickly as possible, as honestly as possible. It's nothing serious, nothing crazy, but it means the world if you don't fuck it up. So I'm going to go around the circle and ask each of you the same question.
Okay.
First punk album you ever bought?
Fuck. Probably Ramones' Rocket to Russia.
Offspring Smash.
On vinyl?
Any record.
Deadbeat Records comp called Viva La Vinyl.
Viva La Banda.
Yeah, it was the first punk record I bought on vinyl.
Yeah, short music for short people.
That's a good one. Fat Wreck. Yeah.
Fat
Nice,
Records.
nice.
Yeah.
All right, beer, coffee, or tea before a gig?
Beer.
Coffee.
Beer.
Oh, beer before a gig. Beer for sure.
I want you each to describe your band's sound with one angry word.
That's not a. That's an emphasis. One angry word.
Yeah. That's why I made a noise.
Yeah. Matt.
Curtis!
He already stole mine. Oh, that's mine. Yeah.
This is Curtis's mom.
Yeah.
That's two words.
Best city you've ever played outside of Windsor?
Holy fuck. Fuck, Hanover.
Okay. I'll say the last show in Munich, last tour. Glass broken everywhere.
Berlin?
Quebec City was fun. Yeah, it was cool.
Was that your only show?
Yes, I played out there.
That was a different band though. What band was that, Alex?
That would have been with Just Right.
Just Right?
Yeah, I haven't gotten to play very many places.
No, we
That's
got
what- yeah, so I
Ask me in a year
All right, we'll be back. Yeah, when you come back, we'll have to.
if they keep me around that long.
Germany seems to be the prevalent country, though.
Unreal.
150 people packed into a room that fit 80.
Yeah.
Bad.
Oh man,
Like wine on a stemware.
Well, that's Munich.
that's amazing.
Last show last year, yeah.
All right, what's your favorite Windsor pizza place?
Capri.
Naples.
Right now, Maestro's.
I like Krusty's.
Okay, and dead or alive, what's your dream band to share a bill with?
Clash.
Clash.
Coxbar. Oh, Coxbar. Dead or Alive. Yeah, Coxbar. Yeah, okay. I'm like, okay, I didn't fuck that up.
Operation Ivy.
Nice.
Oh, that's a good
nice.
Yeah.
And finally, anything you want to say to the next generation of punks in Windsor and across Canada?
Get off the computer and fucking make some noise.
Yeah. Stop vaping.
You guys, thank you so much. I know you have a big night ahead of you and an even bigger road ahead of you in Europe coming up. So we're going to... Number four. Number four. I won't forget it this time, okay? I'll be back and more prepared. Thank you.
I wasn't listening.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back. We'll be back with another edition of On the Scene sometime in the future. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back, everybody. You just heard Roots and Boots, Reckless Upstarts. Ah, I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them.
So good.
Like, there's so much energy behind their music and so much emotion and such a strong message that I just
And
really, really appreciate.
such a party band because in the sense that it's a real community when people are. I mean, seeing them this past weekend, the stage was full of people up on stage singing along with them.
Yeah,
It was just a
there's
wild.
so much pride and they have so much loyalty to their fans. Like they're
Mhm.
always giving shout outs. Every song is for somebody. Everything they do is for their community. It's a beautiful, beautiful engagement.
Really
Uh,
is.
we we also heard my favorite song, "Stay Loyal." I do have that song tattooed on me, as we mentioned in the interview, so I just had to sneak that one in there. And
Yeah.
then also off of an intercontinental Oi compilation that was released in 2024, I played the track RCBB, Rose City Boot Boys.
Oh yeah.
That's it, guys. That was our Reckless Upstarts interview, and it was so fun to do that in person at the venue. I hope we can do that some more. I'm gonna lead it back over to you, Jamie, so you can introduce this next segment.
This next band is a newer band, only a couple years old, but they feature some real veterans of the scene, led by Jimmy Graham, who was a noted producer in this area in the 90s. He produced all kinds of alternative acts, including Somatos and Big Daddy and the Murs and various other ones. Ran into Basement Records. Uh, just recently has put together a band called the Rose City Rockers, and they've been releasing songs on internet radio and been doing all kinds of great stuff. So we're going to talk to Jimmy and hear all about the Rose City Rockers and their success this past year. And we're going to kick that off first with one of their more recent songs called Cowboy Blues on the Windsor scene.
The podcast.
Just like the old days of riding on the range. Two wheels saddled up, feeling like Jesse James. A lonesome highway leads up a mountain pass. Don't know where I'm going, but at least I'll get there fast. Oh yeah, 'cause I'm still paying my dues. I feel like I'm living like a cowboy singing the blues.
All right, welcome back to the Windsor scene. That was Cowboy Blues by the Rose City Rockers, and we have the one and only Mr. Jimmy Graham of the Rockers right here with us on the Windsor scene to talk about stuff. How you doing?
Fantastic, Jamie. Fantastic. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And for those who might not know or maybe might have forgotten, you've been around for quite a long time in the local music scene.
Yeah, it's been a few years slugging it out and doing whatever I can to either be part of it or support it.
And those who don't know, you've also been a producer for a long time in the Basement Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Still going?
Yep. Well, actually, back in the heyday when you and I were, kind of in the same circles and
Yeah.
know each other and that, I mean, it was kind of a big deal. And I was working with just a ton of bands, everything from Elad's Guitar Army to Problem to the Solution and all those great bands that were kicking around back in the late 80s, early 90s and
Yeah.
mid 90s. And then it just got to the point that around 95, 96, 97, 98 it just seemed like everybody else had their own recording studios, right?
Yeah.
So the business fell off and the talent really wasn't there anymore. And the rock and roll business, the rock and roll game so changed
Yeah.
that there wasn't really a lot of interest in bands trying to make it anymore. So I use the studio as my own kind of thing to do. And other than that, it just kind of mothballed it. And I went into the hypnosis showbiz
Yeah.
thing for 10 years and toured all over North America as a comedy hypnotist.
No way.
Yeah, and that was just a fantastic career. But then when everything locked down and I'm sitting around going, well, now what do I do with myself? And I'm thinking, hey, wait a minute, I got a recording studio downstairs. I may as well get back down there and start playing around. So from that, I did a solo album of just covers called Cover to Cover, and I was really into the blues rock stuff, which I've always been a fan of.
Yeah.
And I invited all these people in to help me record the album. And as a result, it turned into just calling it the Rose City Rockers because everybody was from Windsor, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as the studio goes, now I'm probably going to branch out as soon as I can get our album released, then start looking for, certain artists that I want to work with.
Absolutely.
I'm probably not going to turn it back into a commercial thing where I need to make money, but if there's projects that I want to work with and bring somebody in, then yeah, I'll do that.
Nice, nice. And how long have you been playing?
Oh, geez. Probably since I first, my first band was in grade 8 playing drums and
Nice.
being the lead singer behind the drums because everybody else was too scared to sing.
Yeah.
So I've been at it for a long time. My whole entire life has been in music. So
What was your first band playing bars? Do you remember?
the first professional band actually was a little band called Casey Jones out of Tilbury, but we got managed by Ted Boomer and Larry
Okay.
Wilson, and they brought me to Windsor to join a band called Destiny because they were looking for a guitar player to go on the road. So I shelved the Tilbury band and then started up with Destiny. We within 2 weeks we were touring all over Ontario and Quebec and out to Newfoundland and all over the place. Did that for a couple of years and then just kept on going from there.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So Rose City Rockers, you guys have been slowly releasing some originals to quite some fanfare. And
Yeah. Yeah.
we started off with Cowboy Blues, which is kind of your newer one, but
Yep.
but you had Going Down to Memphis has been doing extremely well online.
That was the first song we wrote for actually a blues competition run at the Lion's Head last year. And we thought, well, I mean, we're a blues rock band. We're not really a traditional blues band.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, well, we need to, get some originals so we got a chance at winning this thing. And the prize was to go down to Memphis to compete against the big boys. So I thought,
Oh, nice.
yeah, I came up with this lick and the boys put the music to it. And then it was just the lyrics just came to me about going down to Memphis. And it was our first song. And it's quote unquote our biggest hit.
Yeah.
Right. We've got a couple other ones that are out. She Feels Good in My Hands is also a big popular one.
Nice.
And there's a new one that's going to come out in September, well, maybe October at this point, called Good Day, which is a kind of a quicker blues. But going down to Memphis, I mean, it's just taken off. It's a crowd favorite. People get up and dance and just
Nice.
rock out to it. So
It's
so that's
definitely
been
got
going really good.
it's got some balls. Like it's got some. I mean, I know it's like a blues song, but there's a little bit of Detroit muscle in there as well. Like,
Oh, absolutely. It is definitely a banger. And the cool thing is that we started putting it out to internet radio stations, and this one called Hugs 24/7,
hmm,
which you can just Google that and the website will come up. But they're the largest unsigned radio station in the world, 195 countries or whatever they're up to now that it's being played in. And we've been going down to Memphis was on the charts for 8, 9 weeks at number 2.
wow,
So yeah, in the top 200 out of 200 artists that they allowed in, and we were up there 8, 9 weeks at number 2. So I mean, a lot of people really were digging the song.
nice. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's also up for Song of the Year on that station too.
Wow, pretty impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you expecting that kind of? I mean, no one really expects that kind of stuff in today's day and age. There's so much out there, but that must have been quite a feeling.
Well, the no, we really weren't. And I mean, in your experience, and the music industry now, it's basically it's a popularity contest. So if you
Yeah,
get enough friends to vote for you,
yeah,
then hopefully you'll go to whatever the next level is. Um, and people are so inundated these days about help us out, do this, and help us do that, blah 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 blah, that we were plugging it to our own fan base, and people
yeah.
were helping us out, but you can only hit them over the head so many times with that.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So we kind of backed off on it just as a test to say, I wonder how strong this song is and how strong their listenership is
Yeah.
and how much they like the song.
Yeah.
So we basically stopped promoting it altogether, and it kept going up.
Oh, shoot.
And yeah, and we were getting all these fans from all over the world going, wow, what a great song. We love the band, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, that proved to us that it was a great song and that we're maybe on to something, quote unquote.
Nice. Were there any specific influences you were drawing on for going down to Memphis, or did it just kind of?
Well, I don't think per se for the song, but definitely the whole vibe of the band is a real kind of modern version of the 70s power trios, like the
Yeah.
Leslie Wests and the Mahogany Rush and even Rush itself, Robin Trower, all those power trio bands, Cream.
Nice.
Just getting 3 guys in the room and just banging it out and just making something sound really, really cool. And we took that attitude to going down to Memphis as well as the rest of our songs. And the coolest probably compliment we get from our live shows is like, where are the other 2 guys? Because you guys sound massive.
Yeah.
And it's just the 3 of us.
Jesus, you know what? Listening to it, I would never have guessed it was just three. It's
Oh,
huge.
well, see, there you go. That's a
Yeah.
compliment in itself. Yeah.
So who are the other guys?
We've got Joe Riem on drums. And there's a kind of cool story about that. Joe and I played in the 80s in a band called The Fashion, which was a huge band back then, in the southwestern Ontario region. And that band broke up in 89. And then we basically all went our separate ways. And I didn't see Joe maybe once or twice tops over the next maybe 30 years or 25 years, whatever
Wow.
it was. And then early in 2024, it could have been maybe January of 2024. And I was trying to get this band off the ground, and the players that were coming in, it just wasn't working. And I ran into Joe at Average Joe's, ironically.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Joe, what are you doing? He says, I'm looking for a band. I want to get back into drumming. And he just came off a kind of a sabbatical type of thing. It was involved in a big motorcycle wreck, and he was just getting his body back together and starting to play again and that. And he was looking for a band. I said, well, I'm looking for a drummer. And I told him what we were doing. So we got in the room. We had a bass player at the time. And we jammed it out, and things were going well between us two, but the bass player had other commitments. So now we were without a bass player. So Joe and I are back together. Now we're looking for a bass player, and I get this message from this guy. He goes, "Hey, you play Faye's amplifiers, Randy Faye, local amp builder." He says, "I've always wanted to buy one. Can I come and try it out?" And I'm like, "Sure, come on over." So he came over, we're chit-chatting, we got along great. And as he's walking out the door, Jamie, he goes, "I'd love to come and see you play sometime." I said, "Well, unfortunately, we're not playing anywhere because we need a bass player." And he was a guitar player. He goes, "Well, I play bass too." I said, "Oh, okay." Well, I said, "Here's what we're doing." He goes, "I love that stuff." I said, "Well, here's 6 songs." He came back in 2 days later, and our very first song was "Day of the Eagle" by Robin Trower. And you know how that goes, right? And we hit it. And within the second round of that first lick, me and Joe are looking at each other as like, we found our guy.
Yeah.
And it's just been magic ever since. So, and his name is Michael Muscat.
Nice. So how long you guys how long regularly do you guys play?
Well, it depends on the season. Over the summer, we're playing quite a bit, like the fairs and festivals and outdoor events and that sort of thing. We're basically once or twice a month in Windsor. We're really trying to get out of Windsor. We play Wallaceburg. We've been up in Port Stanley, Hamilton. So we're
Nice.
starting to really branch out and build a fan base because our ultimate goal is not to be, we don't want to be a bar band. We don't want to be known as a cover band.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, to support the band, we do a show called The Heroes of Rock, which features all these great 70s artists. But the big goal is to do our own stuff and do our own shows and, and just present ourselves. And we just played a concert at Seacliff Park, and we did all of our own stuff, like a full 45 of just nothing but our own stuff. And it just went over like gangbusters.
That's amazing.
It was great. Yeah.
Nice. And so when's the album slated for? Do you have an idea?
Well, yeah, and it all comes back down to me because I've got the studio and I'm kind of the head honcho when it comes to producing and engineering. Our initial plan, because we talked with a lot of people and they said, don't drop an album, drop a song every 4 to 6, 8 weeks or whatever, and just kind of keep feeding the beast, so to speak.
Yeah.
I've got probably another 4 songs to mix and master, and we want the album complete in its entirety and for the full album to drop in January of 2026.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got any big plans for a release show or?
Well, yeah. I mean, that will be the bridge that we cross once we know that the album is complete and ready to celebrate it. We've got a couple of venues that we're talking to and, just kind of scoping out on which one's going to be the best one for the fit. But the album title is called Blues Rock Revolution because blues rock has been around for as long as the blues, more or less. Well, starting in the 70s anyway.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a new modern twist on an old style of that 70s stuff. And
nice.
It's just going to be one of those things that we're going to fly it up the flagpole and see who salutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what do you think? I mean, you've been around the scene for 40 years now. What are some of the changes you've seen?
I'm going to have to dye my hair after that comment.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
So, what are some of the changes you've seen that you've actually embraced?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, like I said, I've given up on the music industry. I mean, I started like professionally when I was about 18, 19 and basically quit twice for a good 10 years just because I was like once in the 90s and then once again in 2010 through 2020. Just because I saw that what's the end goal anymore? You can't put a band together and go, well, hey, I'm going to be a rich and famous rock star because those days are gone.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing I really found that music and creativity as an artist, no matter what you're doing, will never go out of style because we're human beings. We love to create. I think the biggest change is now figuring out how to get your own music out and build your own fan base. And that is a kind of a tough go because no one really knows the answer to it anymore.
Yeah.
And the whole advent of the internet and making everything available almost makes it too accessible. And now there's too many choices. Therefore, you're just lost in this ocean of possibilities, right? So I think that those are probably the 2 biggest takeaways I've found.
And how are you finding navigating? I mean, you seem to be doing pretty well with it.
Yeah, I mean we're building a niche, and there's been a couple other bands out there that in the cover space anyway, cover band space. J Sharp Major, Chris Marentet, he had the vision. It's like, I am not going to play what everybody else is playing anymore. I'm going to play really cool songs and sink or swim. That's what we're going to do, and they're great songs, and they'll find an audience. So we kind of took the same token, that we're all big fans of those 70s blues rock trios. And I mean, when was the last time you heard any band cover Mississippi Queen by Mountain, or Day of the Eagle by Robin Trower, or Snortin' Whiskey by Pat Travers? I
Yeah.
mean, that just doesn't happen anymore. And we thought, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to go out there and play it. And we stuck to our guns. And now we've got a following that they come out specifically because we're the only bands playing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that, and combined with the ideas, we don't care whether people want to hear originals or not. We're going to just shove it down their throats until they
Nice.
like it.
Yeah.
And that tactic has worked as well.
I mean, that's one thing I find a lot of cover bands almost they're almost afraid to throw in the originals in case it disrupts their set or they lose the crowd. But you guys have definitely seemed to have found a niche to manage to bridge that. And your originals are proving to be just as successful, if not more so.
Well, I'm glad you brought that point up, because when we do live shows now, we find bigger reactions to, and more people on the dance floor just jamming out to it for our originals than anything else that we play.
It's a great feeling, isn't it?
Oh my God, it's so good. I mean, especially when they start, the people that follow us regularly are now singing the songs. So that's pretty cool.
Nice, nice. Well, have you got any shows planned coming up?
We do. And depending on when this is airing, I mean, we've got at least probably 10 more shows in 2025. I got to get off my butt and start booking 2026 before everybody else does. But the best place to find our schedule is on our therosecityrockers.com website, and just go to tour dates, and then all of our shows are listed there. Also, you can find where we're playing on our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/Rose City Rockers. We've also got a fan group called the Rocker Army that people are welcome to join up there and be part of the Rocker Army, and we always list our shows there too. But we've got some really good shows coming up right through to the end of the year.
Awesome. So when's the next single drop?
Good Day should be coming out sometime in October of 2026. Followed up by we've got another song called No One's Coming, which is kind of an epic song. It's about 6 minutes and 40 seconds, but it's very, very cool. Nice. We've got a cover of Born Under a Bad Sign, which is a classic blues number, but we took it to the total left field and funked it up. So
nice.
We get a lot of compliments about that from other musicians. There's another song called Firing Line, which is coming out, as well as Ain't No Going Back. So those songs are going to be coming out before the end of the year, and we're hopefully going to get off our butt and drop those every 3 weeks before the end of the year.
Nice.
And then get the album out in January.
Well, that's a lot of news.
It certainly is. Oh yeah, and I'm going down to Connellsville. We're a big deal in Connellsville, Pennsylvania, by the way.
Nice.
That's where this Hugs radio station is located. So I'm going down to their big awards show, which is October 24th and 25th, and hopefully, like I said, we're up for Best Song of the Year as well as Best New Group of the Year.
Awesome.
For those two awards. So hopefully I'll be down there and be able to bring some hardware home.
Nice. Well, we hope so too.
Yeah.
We'll have to bring you back when the album comes out and play a little bit more.
Oh, I'd love that. That'd be great. Sure.
Well, thank you very much for stopping by and letting us know what's going on in the world of the Rose City Rockers.
Well, thanks, Jamie, and thank you for supporting everybody and just getting the word out and supporting all these great bands in this area.
Absolutely. Thank you, and we're going to now take off and listen to Going Down to Memphis on the Windsor scene. right, and that was Going Down to Memphis by the Rose City Rockers. Thanks to Jimmy for stopping by and filling us in. And we have one last band left for you, a band called Brainrust, another newer band on the scene, a couple years old, but the members of the band are very familiar to everyone else. Kyle Marchand on guitar and vocals from cellos. We've got James Brown from Took, used to be a drummer, now on guitar and vocals. Colin Wiseman from What Sees What Shores and Middle Sister on bass. And Adam D'Andrea from the Nefedovs on drums.
Oh my God, this is an all-star lineup to me.
It sure is.
We are in for a treat.
And they have a show coming up this Friday at the Tipsy Toucan. So check them out. And we have taken some time to talk to three of the members and find out what's up in Brainrust world. And we are starting off with the song Passing for their most recent album, Indistinct Chatter. Live here, Brainrust on the Windsor Scene. All right, and welcome back to the Windsor Scene. And with me now, I have 3/4 of local Windsor band Brainrust. I have Kyle, James, and Adam with me.
Hello.
Hi, Jamie.
Hello
How's it
there.
going?
Good. How are you?
Tired.
So for those that don't know you guys, I mean, you guys are a newer band on the scene. What is it, about 2 years? About that?
Yeah, give or
2 to 3.
take, yeah. Yeah.
You three are veterans of the local scene and have played in many bands over the years. Some still are. Why don't you give a quick introduction of who you are and where people might have heard or seen you before?
Sure. I'm James. I play guitar and sing, and I guess the last Windsor thing I was in was a two-piece band called Took. Before that, I was in a few other bands that didn't kind of were flashes in the pan. There's a punk band called Frontiers, and Adam and I also go way back with old garage punk bands back in high school and stuff like that.
Who's next?
You're next.
I'm next. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm Adam. Most people would probably know me from the Nefedovs, of course. But that was quite some time ago, actually. Brainrust is the first original band I've been in maybe 12 years after I left the Nefedovs. And then other than that, I kind of floated around in a couple cover bands over the years. And I don't know, depending on how long you've been alive, you might know me from Law 9 Brawl, which would be about 20 years ago. Or
I never realized you were in Lot 9 Brawl.
I was.
I was too, technically.
Yes, that's right.
Nice.
And then if you were really lucky or unlucky, depending on how you see it, you might have caught one of the 3 shows I played with False Hopes back in the day.
Well, that was a thorough CV.
Yes. And it went so well that after my 3 shows, they decided to split up. So
nice.
Aptly named band.
Yes. All right, I guess it's Kyle's turn.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm Kyle, play guitar and sing in Brainrust. Also played guitar and sang in a band called Cellos, which is kind of dormant right now. Play guitar in a band called What Seas, What Shores. Played guitar in a band called Orphan Choir. Played in a band called Worry. And a few others, but those are the kind of top of the CV bands.
Those are a lot of heavyweights out there. You guys are rock royalty.
Well, it's kind of you to say.
So what brought you 3 together?
So I had just moved back from Montreal, I think, and I had written and put out an EP up there of just songs that I was toying around with. And I happened to notice that Kyle had also kind of done the same thing in this. I mean, I don't know if he would say it was serendipitous, but to me, it was like, oh, this dude kind of did the same thing I did. So when I got back to Windsor, I think what we were talking and one of us floated the idea of just combining the 2 things into one project. And so Kyle and I were working the songs out together for a good while before we tried to find people to play with. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. You had Uppers. So James had music called Uppers that he played all the instruments on and, wrote the songs. It was just like a true solo project. And yeah, around the same time, I had a thing called Secret Tweets, which was the same type of deal. I just had some songs I had written on an acoustic guitar and started writing lyrics and just had this kind of batch of songs that didn't fit in with bands that I was doing at the time. So thought it would be a fun kind of winter project to record with a friend of mine and actually lay down the tracks separately on my own. It was my first time recording drums. That was fun. But we just had a mutual appreciation for each other's solo projects. And yeah, when James moved back, we kind of like when the fog of the pandemic started to clear, we hung out a few times and talked about just kind of learning some Uppers and Secret Tweet songs as a duo and trying to find musicians to play with, because we sort of each had this body of work that we could bring to start a new band where you're not starting from complete scratch. It's really hard to start a band from scratch with no songs, but we had a solid batch of songs that we liked, so that was the impetus.
Nice. Then who came first, Colin or Adam?
It's a good question. I think almost at the same time.
So if memory serves me correctly, I was at a show downtown that James was also at, and you guys had started doing this, obviously, and James brought it up to me, if you want to come play drums, you're more than welcome. And I said, yeah, sure. And I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 days later, I had to message James on like Instagram or something to be like, just so you know, that wasn't just like a pleasantry. I would actually like to come play.
I
Because
remember that.
we've all had those discussions, right? When you see another musician, like, oh, we should jam sometime.
Yeah.
And nothing happens. So, like, we've all done it like 50 million times.
Yeah.
So I had to make sure that he knew, no, it's not just we should jam sometime. Like, let's do this. And so I think I practiced with you guys first, and then someone was like, we should call Colin.
Yeah, Colin was like the first choice for sure for bass, just because we all know him well and he's an excellent musician, and luckily he was on board pretty much from the get-go.
Nice. And you mentioned how they didn't really fit in with the other projects, and it's one of the things that I found really interesting, because the album was great.
Thank you.
And but it is very different than your past projects. Like I almost didn't realize I discovered the music online before I knew who was in the band, and I was quite surprised to find out who the members of the band were. What made you kind of start writing stuff that way, or has this been building up for years that you just wanted to get a different, or is it a maturation?
So I picked up guitar when I was living in the Yukon in like 2018, just because, I don't know, I was just sick of playing drums. And every time I played drums up there, it's like I didn't have a drum set. All the instruments in town were like communal. So you had to like track down a kit if you were playing a show, because there was no music store up there. But I started writing some songs on guitar and started a band up there called Servo. And we played a few shows, but it didn't really pan out. But I guess I was kind of trying to channel like Fugazi and Black Midi and a bunch of other bands I was really into at the time. But I like pretty much all of those songs I brought to Brainrust because I thought they were good and they needed a home. So like Pacing was probably the first one of those. And I think the other two are going to be on our next album. They didn't really get the love they needed yet.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just kind of always writing riffs and like, I'll go into my voice memos and have like all these different kind of sometimes half finished ideas, or like occasionally a fully fleshed out song will just kind of hit me like a lightning bolt, and I'll record it on my phone, but it's not necessarily for a specific project. And so having Brainrust be like, we're pretty open to trying new sounds and like experimenting with different styles of songs. Where I mean, I guess my other bands have been pretty open to that sort of thing too, but this is really like a songwriting oriented band where like if you can have, I don't know, it's been fun to like both be able to like bring completed songs to this band, but also just James bringing completed songs. It's like a little less pressure than some other bands have been in, where like you're the primary songwriter. It's kind of a 50-50 split type arrangement that we have in a way. We work things out in the jam room too, but for the most part, it's like James and I are bringing either completed songs or mostly completed songs.
I just show up.
Yeah.
And I'm perfectly fine with that arrangement. I think
every band needs the rig go.
Where it's just like acknowledge that one or two people are tasked with writing the songs. Like, I don't know. It's easy, like Kyle said, less pressure, and like, I don't know, a lot less arguments on the creative side of things.
I think if we really sat down and went like inventoried everything, there's definitely a lot of things that you've come up with like on the fly that made it into the recordings.
Yeah. I mean, like more like arrangement type things, right? Like, let's play this part twice or something like that. You mentioned how different this band is compared to our other stuff, like older bands we're in. I couldn't be happier about that because honestly, playing in like the Nefedovs was like doing P90X, like just an insane workout. And in this band, I feel like I can actually breathe, like literally and figuratively, because there's a lot more room for me to work with when you're not just playing as fast and loud as you possibly can all the time.
Punk rock gets sore.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, I listened to some of the songs I played 15 years ago, and I don't know that I could do it anymore unless I was given time to like really condition myself to do
Yeah.
it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because it's almost a pop record in comparison to some of your past. Like I mean, like in like a Dinosaur Jr. kind of way, not like in a Britney Spears way. Like the songs they're fantastic. Sorry, I'm fangirling a little bit.
Thanks.
Thanks. I think a big thing for me was like embracing a lot of influences that I like maybe younger me wouldn't think was cool to embrace, like getting really into like pop sensibilities and stuff. Uh, Kind of broke down a lot of walls for me. And I think we're looking to like make stuff that sounds nice, and we're coming from a place of a lot broader influence than we were like 10 or 15 years ago, I think.
Nice. So speaking of the album, where did you guys record it?
In the house that I'm sitting in my basement. Really DIY. We have a good friend, Josh Costa, who's really got an excellent ear for mixing, and he's got some gear, and we have some gear, so we sort of put it all together and made it work. And this is like when I talk about a basement, this is like a dank basement. It's like a crawl space basically. So I can't stand up straight in my basement. So this was like it was a grimy recording experience.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds so
But
beautiful. This darkness emitted some light.
well, we didn't want to have to like get into debt right off the hop, so
Yeah, no, that's
we
fair.
we worked with what we had available, and I'm happy with how it turned out. Definitely.
So that
Josh did, sorry,
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Josh did the most recent cello stuff, right?
Yeah, the last batch of songs that we had recorded, and he did the Secret Tweets album with me too. So we've
Okay,
had a few experiences recording together, and we speak the same language. Like we have a good understanding of one another. We're good friends, so we're very comfortable being honest with one another and speaking candidly about things. And you have to have that kind of relationship if you want a good product.
absolutely.
It
So
was fun. It was just like very. I mean, I'm not going to say it was lo-fi, but it felt lo-fi. The
yeah,
experience was lo-fi, but the product was
it's
medium-fi.
big. Yeah, it's big. It sounds big. Um, so that album is that's it's over a year old now. Are you guys prepping work for a new album or an EP?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we almost have a full batch of songs ready to go. We want to see if maybe we can bang out another two or three before the spring, and then we'll probably start thinking about studio time.
Nice. You're not going back to the basement?
I think we just want to, be a little more thoughtful about how
Yeah,
we go about it.
nice.
I think the songs that we've written since the first album there, I think there's a lot more like layers to them this time around. So I think it might require I don't know. I don't want to say like big production. It'll be our Born to Run.
Nice. So you're gonna what kind of stuff are you thinking of adding like new layers like keyboards and orchestras and
I mean, that would be incredible.
yeah.
I would love to really go all out, but realistically, like there's a little bit of synth on that album. I would love to add a little, yeah, a little more instrumentation would be nice, but also just like I mean, it's very vocal oriented, and James and I sing a lot of harmonies, so I really want to take the time to like absolutely nail the vocals on this
Mm,
next batch. I think we did an okay job with the last ones, but we were singing like we did all the vocals in Josh's house in a little tiny office room, and it would just be nice to be in a studio with like a few more options for like maybe some
absolutely.
outboard gear, some nice compressors would be nice to have.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, no, has anything been recorded? Oh, you said no, that you're just working on the songs.
Yeah, we've been playing like maybe 3 songs in our sets for the last 6 months or so, 3 or 4 new ones, but we've got a couple others that we're chipping away at. We're prioritizing writing after this show so that ideally we could record a full length in the winter time.
Hmm,
That's the plan.
it's a good plan. Speaking of playing the last few months, you have a show coming up this Friday at the Tipsy Toucan. Is it this is going to be your sort of your last show of the season?
Yeah,
Yeah, for
definitely.
sure.
How'd you guys get hooked up there? Because they're a fairly new venue.
So Doug from Rough Shape and I go there for beers sometimes, and we were sitting there talking with the owner, and Doug had kind of floated the idea to him about running the basement as a venue, and he was super into the idea. And they've done a couple shows down there now, I think,
Hmm.
and from what I hear, they went really, really well. Uh, so yeah, Doug and I just said like we need to set something up.
So it's downstairs. I was wondering, just curious where it was in there, because that's where the old comedy club was.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a nice little room.
it is really nice, a lot nicer than you might think. And he's really uh, given that place like a makeover. Like I loved Rockhead, but Toucan is like a whole different bar.
Nice. And you guys are playing with Meander Green and Rough Shape, right? Is that
Yep,
correct?
correct.
Nice. Well, so I guess we've got to look forward to this show coming up, and then looking forward to some hopefully new recordings by the spring, maybe.
Yeah,
Ideally.
yeah, spring or summer. We'll see how it goes.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys very much for stopping by, and we'll see you at the show.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thanks for
Jamie.
having us.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
We appreciate it.
Expectation exists, and I've got a few words.
All right, that was Parapet, another track off Indistinct Chatter from Brainrust. We also heard Schizoid Embolism in the middle there, and that was Brainrust. So if you're digging their sounds and their vibe, they're playing this Friday, October 17th at the Tipsy Toucan. They are playing, Tipsy Toucan's been starting to pick up some shows, so that looks like it's going to be another alternate venue, which nice to get something out in the Ottawa area.
Very small and intimate venue from what I've
Yeah.
heard. Haven't been there, but they do a lot of comedy shows.
Yeah, it's actually downstairs where the comedy shows are.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah. And it's a nice little warm room. I've seen some comedy and some spoken word stuff there, but never seen a band, so hoping to check them out this Friday. Another episode in the books.
You guys, we only have one more episode and this season's done.
This season's done.
The season is almost done.
I'm so impressed with the interviews that we were able to capture so far for our first year doing this. I'm just beyond impressed with the caliber of talent that has come through these airwaves. Is it airwaves? The internet waves?
Sure.
Yeah,
The
it still goes through the
podcast
airwaves.
waves?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really, really proud of this city's music scene, and I just wanted to say thank you to every single person who has been a part of it for this past season so far. We still got lots more coming your way.
We sure do. Now we're lining up interviews for the second season, and Mixmaster Mike will be jumping behind the mic and showing
Conducting
off
some
his interview
interviews.
chops as well. So lots to look
Yeah.
forward to in season 2, but we do have one episode coming up, our grand finale, and we thank you all for being a part of this journey with us. So until next time,
stay groovy.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And happy Windsor scene.
Yeah. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.
Perfect.
Yeah.